Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Cyber Unfiltered podcast. Um, Crazy stuff happening every day, every week. What's new for this week, Chris?
Well, let's start off with what we promised last week. So we kind of left it where Microsoft turned over BitLocker keys to the FBI. Okay, let's back up. What is BitLocker? Someone want to explain that?
Sure. BitLocker is the encryption technology that's used pretty much by every Windows PC, every Windows business PC out there that encrypts that hard drive. So only you and apparently Microsoft can get to the data.
Well, if you store it in
If you
Microsoft
store it, yeah.
servers. So minor detail there.
Which it does by default, so that might be worth mentioning. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's back up. Why do you encrypt a hard drive?
Because if I lose
Make
my
your stuff
laptop, I
private.
leave that laptop
I don't want everyone
the
else
laptop
reading my
is
tax returns.
stolen out of Starbucks when the person walks over to the bathroom, and the device is logged off. There's no way for the bad guys to get to that data.
That's one reason. What's another reason?
Check the box for the cyber insurance policy.
We're legally required to.
Okay. Now think like a bad guy allegedly. What would be another reason why you'd want to encrypt your hard drive or your drive in general?
Because you do bad things and want to keep it from other people.
Yeah, like maybe if you're allegedly committing, I don't know, a pandemic unemployment assistance fraud ring. Maybe you might want to encrypt it. Allegedly, yeah, it's allegedly, but it's also I don't know. I'm not going to name the people. I don't care. It happened in Guam. They got the warrant served to Microsoft, and they had uploaded their encryption key for BitLocker to the server, and Microsoft gave it to them with legal authority. They said that they get about 20 requests per year for BitLocker keys, and this is the first one that they've publicly actually given up. Now, privacy people are going to lose their minds on this.
Sure.
They may have a point. However, I think it's a bit, it depends, right? Encryption's incredibly important for, like you said, for compliance reasons, for data, protection against data loss, because even the government admitted that if they didn't get the key, they weren't going to get access to the data on that drive. They said they had no tool or process or forensics tool to bypass BitLocker's encryption. Now, Apple does it a little different. They don't store the keys in the cloud like that, so they couldn't hand them over. Microsoft does it for kind of like an act of convenience. So if you're a Windows 11 home user, so if you use a home version of the operating system, and use a Microsoft account, it will upload the keys to your Microsoft account, which is good if the drive fails or your computer fails and you need access to the data on there. Because we know as consumers aren't educated a lot of times to back up properly, to do certain things properly. So if they lost their laptop, it protects them against data loss. But if something bad happens or BitLocker gets triggered and it prompts them for the key, it's a convenience thing, right? To be able to go into your account that you hopefully have protected with multi-factor authentication and get the key and be able to get access to it.
Sure.
On the business side,
without the key, the machine is useless. Is what it comes down
right?
To.
Yeah, without the key, it's useless. So by being on by default for consumer side makes sense to me, right? Makes perfect sense to me. Let's go to the business side. If you're managing a bunch of laptops or desktops or whatever, and you don't have a tool that can pull those encryption keys off of all those computers and store them in a safe location and deal with all that, you're going to use Microsoft to store those keys.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I've gone multiple times to Microsoft to get those keys back for people.
Mm-hmm.
Or you get caught in the situation where they didn't back the keys up, and then they want access to the data, and you're like, you know what? Did you save that? Oh, you didn't?
Your shiny new
yeah. You have a brick now. So it's a decision. Microsoft storing the keys is a level of convenience. but it does reduce some privacy and some security. Is that acceptable to you? That's the big question. Even though Microsoft on the personal side, on the home edition side, uploads the keys automatically, you can go in and delete them. So you can save the key off to some safe location and you can delete the key. You don't have to leave it there. On the work side, on the Microsoft 365 side, a little different. If it depends on how your tenant is set up, it depends on how you're managing it. You as an individual might not be able to delete that key, but that's a business decision. That's not a you decision. So you could potentially choose to not upload those keys, but you need to back them up, or you can just not do encryption, which don't do that. That's not really an option.
I don't suggest that either.
That's a bad option, but like it is an option, right? So then the debate becomes, again, like we talked about, it's a privacy debate. Is the convenience of having the key stored in the cloud worth the potential loss of privacy in a legal situation?
I would argue if the keys were not elsewhere and you did not provide the FBI with access to your machine when compelled to, you're pretty screwed anyway, if it's gone that far. So if it's gone to the point of a warrant being sent to Microsoft to get the keys,
yep,
it's already gone pretty far. I feel like the least of your worries at that point is going to be that they have the keys, because if you kept them somewhere else in a different way, I don't know. How can they compel you to give it up? But I think they will. And one important thing here is there were warrants. It's not like Microsoft was like, sure, here you go, government. What's an analogy? Right? A landlord, like a tenant.
From the privacy concern. From the privacy concern of people. So sorry for the privacy concern people though, but who lets Microsoft decide who they're going to allow and who they're not going to allow when they get that warrant? If you say that they've got other warrants and haven't complied, why did Microsoft comply this time? Did they like the message?
No, they said they get 20. They get 20 requests per year. A lot of them, the keys aren't actually stored, so they just turn it away. This is the first one they've publicly shared. That doesn't mean they automatically comply, but in this case, they did. They didn't really go into it. From what I read, I didn't see a reason why, but they did say that sometimes they get the request and the keys just aren't there. So you can't really comply with something that doesn't exist, right?
Mm-hmm. No, I get it.
A lot of things we do come down to convenience, though. Convenience versus security. There's a balance. What are you comfortable with on that balance? As a person, maybe you do shady stuff on your computer and you don't want Microsoft to have the BitLocker key. So if they do get served with a warrant, you don't want them to be able to decrypt the laptop. I mean, it's only 48 characters. You can memorize it. It's fine. It's fine. You can't be compelled to tell something that you know.
Or if you printed it out, because when you enable BitLocker, that's an option, is to print it out.
Save it on a USB
mattress.
Key. Save it on a USB
I'd still
key.
Argue if they went to the point of getting your computer, they're going to find it on your mattress too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or
Us
again,
three know other ways they can be securely stored. Sure.
Yeah. But
find it on your mattress.
It does bring up a bigger discussion about convenience versus privacy and security. When is the convenience more important? Or I wouldn't say more important than security, but when does the convenience lead to a little bit lesser security because it's more convenient for you?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why we don't make certain decisions
for a long time. Probably.
Oh yeah. Well, because you're dealing with humans, right? Humans have to still follow
Humans
through.
are dumb.
Not. I wouldn't. Okay, you're trying to get us canceled. Sure, yeah, let's go with that. It's not that humans are dumb. People just live in their own bubble, right? Some people just want to show up to work and do their job. And security if you go too far with security, you can affect their ability to do their job in a negative way. It reduces productivity. Look, I'm all for security, but you got to do it in a smart way. And you can't wreck the productivity. You can't wreck workflows. You can't destroy the company, because the company still has to make money. If you put so much security in that a company can't actually do whatever they do, produce a product, deliver a service, then
becomes a
you've went too far. Right. So is the convenience, and this is the question you want to ask yourself again, is the convenience of having Microsoft store the keys outweigh the privacy and security concerns for you? I think in most companies,
let's say somebody chooses.
Sure.
So I think I have a lag on this end, but I agree. For most companies, it probably is worth it. But the question I was going to ask Chris was more for the consumer side. Folks did worry about Microsoft, or maybe they do start giving up keys without valid warrants or whatever. And what are their other options? What can they do to encrypt their data and not worry about that key being out in their Microsoft account somewhere that could get found someday?
I mean, there's third-party options, but you can go delete the key. So you could use BitLocker when you sign into the device with your personal account. Go in, delete the key inside of Microsoft, and just make sure to store it when you go to delete it. It warns you too. There's a warning that says, hey, make sure you back this up just in case.
Or you're dead.
Yeah.
Well, you can't get past that BitLocker initial screen without backing it up in some way, right?
Yeah, but for the home edition, it just automatically dumps it to the account. Remember, they're trying to get rid of local accounts, and the only way to do encryption on the home edition is to have a Microsoft account.
Yep.
So
all right, we're kind of running long on
the wizards are different.
BitLocker to death, and I think we should probably wrap this up and start thinking about next week. There's all kinds of things that are going on and are currently happening. And
how about let us know what's more important to you. Like, if we put this on scale, is the convenience more important than security? Is the security more important than the convenience?
Let us know.
It's the kind of stuff that keeps us weirdos up at night, even if you don't think about it. So let me know if you do think about it.
Or my dog that tries to wake
I
up.
thought 6 kids keep you up at night.
7.
Jeez, that's too many.
Plus the husky and 2 cats.
Yeah,
is the husky very happy in the snow?
Won't come in. It was -7 degrees the other day. I could not get her in. Physically, she will not come. She wraps herself up in the snow, curl up like a fox, and just loves it.
Right.
You're going to get animal control called or whatever, because somebody's going to be like, you're abusing your dog, and you're like, it's a husky, and they're going to be like, oh, never mind.
Oh, I'm sure. And I will ask them to assist me in bringing a Siberian husky inside when she's happy as can be.
Fair point.
All right, gentlemen, try and stay warm. It's not warm here in New Jersey, that's for sure.
I think by March it'll be warm. Maybe April. So, all right, we'll talk to you guys next week.
Until next week.